recognize them. But even from the addressing, I'm impressed. Because they are showing us how it is supposed to be. I have never seen a person that hard work kills. I've never seen that person. Hard work only gets more hard work, and it takes you to greater heights. So please, don't be afraid of hard work. Feferity is not the way out. I come from a court that we pride ourselves as calling ourselves the Feferity court. But the Feferity court issue is because every single judge of the Federal High Court I know has in their docket not less than 250 cases. I have over 600 cases in my docket. That is more than the cases in a state. So the Feferity that we call ourselves is because we think we are hardworking and that we are more hardworking than every other person. But it may not be true, but that is what we believe, and we work on that. Religion and cultural practices. Like I told you, when I was at the state level, the ulamas wouldn't even accept. There was a time I asked them to demolish a mosque. All prayers were on my head. The mosque was positioned at a T-junction. A car coming from either side will not see who is coming from the other side, and there were a lot of accidents. So I had to do a little study on it. What is the rule about establishing mosques? And then when I was convinced that that mosque is wrongly situated, I ordered for it to be demolished. Eventually it was demolished because I had the backing of the governor. Because if you know what you are doing and they believe that you know what you are doing, they will also trust you. I had a governor that used to tell me, show me where to sign. I said, no, Your Excellency, you are supposed to read it and then agree whichever position I've given you. He said, no, I didn't go to Bukuru. Just show me where to sign. Because if you put us in trouble, you will carry your wig and go to court. I said, that is true. So this is the kind of thing you need to establish, and you need to set yourself up at the very early stage. Somebody has spoken about mental health. Productive health is another one where women are expected to be in the house, to be the baby boomers. I don't know, they have different names for different generations. My generations were called baby boomers. We were supposed to have been giving birth like the cats in my house. My cat gives birth to like 6, 5, 4. That's how she gives birth. But that's not the point. You should be able, you see, women by nature, we are multitaskers. You will do the wife work. You will do the mother work. You will do the cook work. You will do the house cleaner work. And then you will do the lawyer in the law firm. Try it. There is a Hausa story, I don't know if a lot of you will remember it, where the man was complaining about his wife, and then one day somebody said, let's switch roles. So the woman went to the farm, did all the farm work, came back. He had not even finished making the gari that they are going to make tuwo because he had messed up everything. We are not made the same way. Let us accept that. We have the capacity to multifunction. A man's brain is geared in one direction. When I was fighting with one former governor that married a 13-year-old, I don't want to mention him, but you all know the story. One of his colleagues, a governor, said to me, my lord, you can't understand it. I said, why can't I understand it? He said, once a man's brain is fixed in that direction, there is nothing you tell him for him to understand. That is what he's thinking. But we need to help them. We need to help them to understand that it is not business as usual. That we are no more of my mother's generation. And a lot of you here are not of my generation. So those of you who are younger generations, the Gen Z generation, use the capacity that you have to change the narrative. Not in a rude way, but in a very subtle way. So we should be able to move away from that baby boomer generation. Domestic violence is not a legal matter only. It is a societal problem as well. But we need to fight it. Currently, I have some cases that I'm dealing. I'm not going to mention the facts because they're still ongoing. They now turn them around as fundamental right issues. They are not fundamental right issues. They are domestic violence issues. And you should go to the appropriate court. Why should I, because I'm tired, I have not cooked your rice, you come, you start beating me? Why? You might go to the kitchen and cook the rice now. We are both working. Or better still, bring in the rice. If you have the capacity, bring in the rice. Let's eat. Tomorrow, I'll cook it. Next tomorrow, you know how to help me clean the kitchen. Help me clean it now. There is no big deal about it. And after all, it's only inside our house. I'm not going to go outside and be announcing that my husband helped me to wash plates. We are doing it internally. The same right that you have is the same right that I have. And then you see, women, we know how to do shege. If you beat me, you come later, myself I no go agree. That's the only punishment they know. That is the only punishment men know. So when they misbehave too much, just no agree. So I think my time is running out. So I want to make a few recommendations. First and foremost, women themselves must be convinced of their innate right to equality, dignity, and justice. They should deconstruct from their minds the belief in tradition that are heinous and injurious to their well-being. As women are the perpetrators of harmful practices against women, such as this genital mutilation, widowhood rights, among others. Why should I drink the water that they used to bathe the corpse of my husband to prove that I didn't kill him? Why? What if he died of a disease? Why must I be one to do genital mutilation? It's neither here nor there. So we have to stop it. If we don't stop it, it will not stop. Equality of access to employment should be given to women, especially those that have the requisite human capacity, the educational capacity, the experience. We should be able to apply, and we should be able to be considered, at par with the male counterparts. To tackle the health problems of women, especially maternal mortality and morbidity, government should grant women more access to health through building of health centers in every public ward, free antenatal treatment, and subsidize the fees. I'll tell you, I'm confessing today, right now in my village, for quite a number of villages around my village, there is no hospital. My own village. So I decided that our family home in the village, nobody stays there. We don't go there. Even when we go there, we don't sleep there. We go back to Kazana to go and stay. I decided to convert it into a clinic. You don't need huge money. You don't need to be His Excellency to be able to build a clinic in your village. One room is enough as a clinic in your village. What do the villagers need? Bandage, GB to clean their wounds from the farm. Maybe the woman goes into labor overnight. You have a qualified nurse that can at least help her out. We all have Angwonzoma in our villages. So you help them. Snake has bitten the man in the farm. Quick first aid before you take him to the village. That's all that is required. You don't need one big capital money. And don't forget, you are all working corporate practice, collecting all the big money. So do some, use it as your zakat or your tithes in the village. Women should be allowed equality of access to productive assets. Women in some places in Nigeria up to now cannot own land. Why? Why can't I own land? I can own land. I can farm. I can build my small hut. And we are not praying for a day. Every day I listen to some of these programs, and then sometimes I see them on the media where somebody has died, his wife. It's a very bad cultural practice that we have in Adamawa State. That's my home state, for which I set up an NGO which is trying to help them. Once a man dies, some tribes are matrilineal. They inherit from the side of their mother. So once a man dies, his mother's people will come and drive the wife and her children out of the home and take over everything. So I started encouraging them to write will. When you write a will and you deposit the will either with your church or with your imam, or you have it stamped in the court, then nobody will shortchange you. But it started becoming a problem because the very high-profile people are the ones that were actually going contrary to that. But I was ready to fight them. And we were able to get some people their inheritance. Why must I sleep on a mat? Because my husband died. When there is a bed, why must I sleep on the mat? So please, women, especially all of you here who are advantaged women, you need to step down to your village level. Everybody comes from a village. Everybody. Maybe your village has grown now to become a semi-city, but you have family back there. So find it in your time, in your heart, in your pockets, to be able to go back to those places and try to educate them, not to radicalize them, not to make them go contrary to the norms and the cultures, not to make them go contrary to respect that is in our culture. I don't believe in your husband is beating you. They say, when he kills you, they will bury you. Your agenda will not be there anymore. He will marry somebody else and bring into your room. So, I want to advise all of us, we have to fight against wife beating, not by fighting back. Yes, some women can actually beat their husband to sputter. But they try not to do it because they'll say, if he divorces me, where will I go? You will not die. You will not die. You will find something to do. Don't stay in an abusive marriage. Do not stay in an abusive relationship. It starts from there. You see it from there, but you want to get married. So you cover it up. By the time he married, I have a little sister. She never told us that the boyfriend used to beat the living daylights out of her. Until the day after the marriage, he called us to say, come and carry your daughter. Yes. Very fair girl. When we got there, she was black and blue. I mean black and blue. Then he now came back and they should please reconcile. I said, no, me, I'm not inside that reconciliation. No. But you, if you want to go back, when he kills you, we'll come and carry your dead body. This is the reality. So let us be our sisters' keepers. If we don't be our sisters' keepers, that glass ceiling that some of us have broken, it will close. But we don't want it to close. We want to now touch the sky. We have broken the ceiling. Let us reach up and touch the sky. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope I have made some small impact. Thank you.
There are speeches you will hear, and then you almost feel like an imposter going to the microphone, because you realize that people need time to fully assimilate that, chew on it, and just have that reside in them for a bit. And listening to me, Lord, just dispense the justice that she did right now. I am quite reluctant to be talking now. I think she deserves a round of applause. That was a Deborah that has just come to justice. Thank you very much, my noble Lord. In the recommendations my Lord made, she started with a charge to us as women to first realize within us and admit that we are deserving of priority. And that goes a long way, because beyond just saying, we clamor for this, we need for this to happen, they should do this for us, the change that we seek truly starts with us. So let us realize that, as the president of the NBA said in his comments earlier, we ain't about tokenism. We're talking about what we have earned by dint of hard work, what we are ably qualified for and ready to accept and implement ourselves in. Thank you very much, our keynote speaker, ma'am. Permit me to quickly take a few recognitions before we get into the next act. In the room with us is my Lord, the Honorable Justice Aderonke Adekemi Aderemi, retired. He is the current executive chairperson of Oyo State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority. My Lord, you're welcome. We also have in the room a distinguished learned senior advocate, Dr. Babatunde Ajibade. Also here with us is Mr. J.B. Daudu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Oh, my apologies. But then again, I mean, what really is the difference between a J.B. Daudu and a Paul Daudu? One and the same. In the room with us, Mr. Paul Daudu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. When a son represents a father so well and fits well into his shoes, he has earned the right to also be addressed in his name. You're welcome, the learned silk, sir. Also in this room with us is a founding member of the Nigerian Bar Association Women Forum and a senior member of the bar, Pastor Ruth Zikachat Kabruk Badung. With us here too is Mr. Nelson Oji, Director Legal, Ministry of Arts and Culture, and he is representing the Honorable Minister for Arts and Culture and Creative Economy, Honorable Hanatu Musawa. And I see seated well in front of me an eminent member of the bar, a past general secretary of the bar, and one of the truest he's for she that I know. He is Akajugo Emeka Obegolu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And you all know that he is the chairman of the MBA Conference Planning Committee. And I must say that already, from what we see happening so far, I mean, I can imagine you are all salivating as I am. So you're welcome, the learned silk, sir. Also here with us is Umaru Adola. Forgive me, I think I may not be pronouncing this well. A former Commissioner of Budget and Planning, Kaduna State. My apologies, sir. I do not think I pronounced that well. I'll correct it when I get the opportunity to. We also have here the President of Ola Nigeria, Mrs. Caroline Ibarunefe, represented by the National Welfare Officer too, Mrs. Dicky Bob Manuel. And also with us is the President of the MBA Lawyers with Disabilities Forum, or the Chairperson, Mrs. Patience Etumudon. You know, as lawyers, one of the things we've been taught is the need to avoid verbosity and then ambiguity. And a good example of that was a lady was owing a fee she was supposed to have paid within 2 days. And when she was summoned to answer as to why she didn't make the payment within the 2 days as agreed under the terms of the agreement, the lady had a ready defense. And she said that the terms of the agreement said she was allowed 2 clear days to make the payment. And then she was asked, yes. So since you had 2 clear days to make the payment, why didn't you make the payment then? She said in the past few days, it has been cloudy. She was awaiting a clear day. That said, I see in the room with us the General Secretary of the MBA, Dr. Ojibara with us. You're welcome, sir. I will take further record. Also sitting elegantly in this room is the one I call the resplendent silk, our dear Wendy Kuku, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I'll continue with the recognitions as I get the names. Now I have been directed to announce that we're going to have just a brief raffle draw, very sharp, and we'll proceed into the next act on the program. And to coordinate that raffle draw, please warmly welcome with me Jade Olise. Jade Judith Olise. That is not how we applaud. Come on. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. The President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mazi Afamusigwe SAN, our very dear Chairperson, Hajia Huwela, please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. We're here just to conduct the raffle draw with the members of my committee, and for transparency's sake, we have in an envelope the names of all the registered participants for this conference, excluding the council members, the ESCOs, CPC members, and LOC members, because we want the gifts to get to those it is intended for. So we'll just be announcing names of our distinguished guests to make a pick. For this segment, we have 8 gifts to give out. And so we will just open the envelope in your presence and allow our distinguished guests to make a pick. And for everyone that is picked, the name that is picked automatically becomes the winner. And in the absence of that person, we will take another pick to replace that number. And we will be starting with our very dear president to make the first pick for the raffle draw. So whoever gets lucky from his pick wins the gift.
Let's put our hands to, give a round of applause to the president of the MBA. Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. So, Mr. President has picked Chiamaka Nwiwu. Can I have the alternate chair of the raffle draw team, Chinelo Audrey of Ebunam, to join me on the podium, please? Chinelo. Okay, so we'll have our chairperson, Hajia, who will take the next speak. Okay, so we have Comfort Olushola. Is Comfort in the hall? Do we have Comfort? Can you raise this?
Let me hold it for you.
Do we have Chiamaka Nwiwu, the pick made by the MBA president? Do we have the person in the hall?
Is that again in the hall?
So then another person.
Who is speaking?
So if we don't have the first two picks in the hall, it means we have to pick again. If these persons are absent. So I would I will call on our very elegant silk, Mrs. Victoria Awomolo, to make the next pick.
Am I to give up?
Just come this way.
Thank you, ma'am. My junior just won first.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma. Okay, so we have Mary Ngene from the Leonard Silk Speak. Is Mary here? Okay, so just stand there.
Yes.
I would call on Elegant Silk, Mrs. Wendy Kuku, SAN, to take the next speak. Thank you very much, ma'am. We have Miracle Treasure Anunobi. Is Miracle here? Can you come to the podium if I have announced your name? Miracle Treasure Anunobi. To take the next speak, I will welcome Mrs. Chinyere Okorocha to take the next speak. Please let's give her a round of applause as she's coming.
We need to call this other people to come up. If they are not coming, let somebody else pick that in the hall.
Okay. Okay. Let's see if she's here so you can do another pick one. Is Jane DK here? Jane DK. Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. I would call on the second vice president of the MBA, Mrs. Bola Animashon, to take the next pick. Yes. One more. Yes, yes.
So far, how many do we have?
If you don't have here,
Can stand and do that.
Yeah, this one. Thank you all. Miriam Larry Abubakar is the person in the hall. Mom, can you help us do the last speak? Miriam is there. Florence Ozo. Is Florence Ozo here? Okay. Another pick, man. Yeah. Okay. Angurika Florence Okonkwo Ezugu. Is the person here? Angurika Florence. Tairat Opayemi Mustafa. Is Tairat here?
If they don't win, another person will take it. If the person is not involved, you can't win.
I think it's okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. So we have successfully called our intended number, and unfortunately, they are not in the hall. So we just have 2 winners in this. Okay, we're trying to abridge the time. So we're just going to call. Can you allow me to talk, please? So we're going to just call our chairperson to take all the picks to complete the number. So let's complete the number. 6. All right. Yeah, that's 6. We have Chinenye Oga. Is Chinenye here? Okay. We have Gwamao Bako. Gwamao Bako. Is the person here? Nuruddin Oluwakemi. Habiba Idris. Oyindamola Aishat Okunola. Is Aishat here? Okay, we still have 5 more. I will call on Leonard Silk Paul Daudu SAN to make 2 picks. Just shake it. Okay. You should pick. Okay. What's the name, please? Habibat Idris. Okay. Your name? Huh? Miriam. Okay. What about you? Oh, okay. Okay. So we just have 3 left. Aisha Fika. Taragi Votapwa. Is Taragi here? Helen Iponwosa. Is Helen here? Let's give her a round of applause. She's coming. Then we have Ayezu Okoko. Is Ayezu here? Okay. 8 altogether. We have. Okay, there's 1 on the floor. Dr. Egondu Ikeatu. Okay. How many do we have there? 6. And the last one, Bolanle Temidayo. Okay. What? Oh, okay. Sorry, give it up one. That's all.
One person is coming, so it's complete.
So we have our 8 winners. Please, can we give them a round of applause? I'll leave it to Chinelo to tell you what they have won individually. Here, Chinelo.
Thank you very much, Judith. Okay, so for this first session, we have gift cards from SPA to the tune of 20,000 naira. SPA supermarkets. We also have another category of gift cards of 10,000 naira. We have lunch dates cards. What's the sum of 25,000 naira? We have recharge cards of 5,000 naira each, and 3 people would win that here. And then we have 1 report of directors of the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee, the entire bundle for 1 person. So the first person who won this category would be that of the 25,000 naira. Besides, by the way, before we go into this, it would interest you to know that the first 500 persons who registered for this conference has a 1-month free Nigerian Weekly Law Report online subscription. A round of applause for the Nigerian Weekly Law Report.
So the first person is Chiamaka Nwewu.
Yes.
So Chiamaka Nwewu gets the 25,000 naira lunch dates. And the second person will get the 20,000 naira SPA supermarket gift card. The third person will get the weekly reports, the entire bundle for the student. The student, one after the other. The fourth and fifth persons will get the market gift card for 10,000 naira. Yes. So Tare will get 5,000 naira recharge card.
We'll just exchange it later. What's your name?
Dr. Igundu will get 5,000 naira recharge card as well. Chinaya uses MTN and she'll get 5,000 naira recharge card as well. And finally, Aisha will get 5,000 naira recharge card as well.
And I think this is a good place to give the MBA Women Forum a round of applause. Congratulations to our winners. You may elegantly walk off the stage. Congratulations. Permit me to quickly recognize in our midst the presence of
With your kind permission, we just want to recognize our sponsors for the raffle draw. So we have Greenbridge Partners, we have Steve Onye Obim and Associates,
We have Crest Hill Law Firm. We have TAP Legal Services, the Nigerian Weekly Law Reports, Law Pavilion, Afamefuna Okeke, Ame O Ame, Elegante Spa and Beauty Salon, and we also have Rapulu Chuku. Thank you.
They have just reeled out names of people and entities that supported the gifts that our winners have received. And I think the least we can do is at least applaud them for that. Thank you very much to all those who sponsored that segment of the program. Okay, the chair of the planning committee, the conference planning committee, has a few comments.
Thank you very much, Chioma. In the spirit and having been addressed now by our own dear Honorable Justice Binta Inyako, especially and most importantly on the importance of paying attention to the way we present ourselves in public, especially as professionals, especially as lawyers, I would like to specifically mention and remind our members about the importance of dressing professionally and properly, even to conferences such as this one. I am sure, because a lot of senior members here, as I was sitting down, we have made some observations, and we decided that it is important that I come up here and I make this point now to send a message of reminder to those of our members who might have forgotten or gotten carried away or might felt that coming to this conference they could dress in otherwise professional and decent and corporate dressing. So I had to make this point now to remind our members. I know that it's not just some of the seniors that whispered to me, but a lot of other seniors must have noticed that too. Some of our members that I consulted now said I should not come up here and say this, but I personally think that it is my responsibility as a senior lawyer to make this announcement. I know the seniors here would support me for this. The juniors might not, but of course, since I'm not singling out anybody to embarrass, but I think it is a duty. We are professionals, we are a family, so it is important for us to be drawing each other's attention and supporting ourselves in this kind of way. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, CPC of the MBA Women Forum Conference. Please, may I quickly recognize in our midst a past two-time national officer of the MBA National, Mr. U.O. Sule, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. We also have here with us a past chairperson of FIDA Kwara, and indeed one of the zonal coordinators for FIDA North Central, Mrs. Ronke Adeyemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Now, may I invite to the microphone to help us present some gifts as an expression of the gratitude of the MBA Women Forum to some persons that will be mentioned after you arrive. And I am welcoming Mr. Jonathan Tunu Taidi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Oh, Mr. Jonathan Gunu Taidi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria.
Our distinguished invited guests, permit me to invite my Lord Honorable Justice Binta Inyako. My Lord, on behalf of the Nigerian Bar Association Women Forum, I present to you this plaque in recognition of your role as keynote presenter this morning. We're all part of it. And for your valuable contributions to the NBAWF Annual Conference 2025. Today, the 30th of April 2025. May you please, my Lord. Congratulations. Permit me to also invite for our President, Mazi Alpha Musigwe, Senior Advocate of Nigeria.
Let me take it by myself.
I hereby summon the President. Mr. President, on behalf of the Nigerian Bar Association Women Forum, I present to you this plaque in recognition of your contribution and support to the growth and development of the Nigerian Bar Association Women Forum, dated this day, 30th of April 2025. Congratulations, my President.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Just get there.
I thank you all for the attention.
Congratulations, my Lord, and of course, the President of the largest bar. Okay, before I invite the coordinators of the next segment, which is a panel session, may I quickly announce to us that it is best we remain seated all through the proceedings of this event, because at the end of each session, we will have another shot at winning prizes. So what you saw was just the first segment of it. There are two more segments of prize winnings that will happen before the end of today. So I am sure you won't want to step out and hear that your name was called after you left, and maybe, it would have been when they are winning the bigger prizes. So, please warmly welcome with me the coordinators for the next session, being a panel session, and that is Jolade Aderonke Falade. If we kindly applaud her, I'm sure it will aid her steps. And working with her is Adeze Opara.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, the President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Honorable Justices Leonard Seals. Permit me to stand on established protocol. I welcome you all to this panel. It's an honor to coordinate this important panel session with my colleague Jolade Falade. And this panel theme is on exploring women's sustainable economic development alongside leadership and governance skills in Nigeria, issues and prospects. Today, we examine the intersection of women's economic empowerment and their participation in leadership and governance, addressing the barriers they face and exploring strategies for lasting, inclusive progress. With a distinguished panel and a vast audience of legal practitioners, this is a meaningful, dynamic, and impactful section. It is now my pleasure to introduce the panelists. The first person on the panel today is the Honorable Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy, Honorable Minister Hannatu Musawa. She is ably represented by Mr. Nelson Orji, a director in the legal services of the ministry. Hannatu, I'm reading the profile of Hannatu. Hannatu holds a degree in law from the University of Buckingham, UK, and took a postgraduate master's degree in the legal aspects of marine affairs from the University of Cardiff. She has a postgraduate master's. She has worked as a litigation lawyer and legal advisor to a number of private companies. Hannatu Musawa was appointed by President Bola Tinubu in 2023 as Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy, after serving as his special advisor on culture and entertainment economy. She oversees the promotion and development of the creative sector in Nigeria, as well as the preservation and display of the country's cultural heritage. A round of applause for the Honorable Minister. The next on the panel is His Excellency Mohammed Abdullahi Abubakar, SAN. His Excellency Mohammed Abubakar, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is a Nigerian politician who served as Governor of Bauchi State from 2015 to 2019. His Excellency is an alumnus of the Ahmadu Bello University and the Nigerian Law School, Lagos. He was called to bar in 1979. Yes. He began his career in the civil service, where he rose through the ranks to become the Bauchi State Attorney General and Commissioner for. He is popularly known as Makama Baba. Please, a round of applause for him. The third on the panel list is Dr. Babatunde Ajibade, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Babatunde Ajibade is the managing partner of SPA Ajibade & Co., a leading corporate and commercial law firm with offices in Lagos, Ibadan, and Abuja, Nigeria. He is a dispute resolution specialist and has substantial expertise in various areas of commercial litigation and international commercial arbitration. He is the chairman of the International Bar Association Section on Public and Commerce Arbitration Commission Steering Committee until June 2024, amongst other achievements. Dr. Ajibade was called to the Nigerian Bar in 1989. He is an alumnus of the King's College London. He was elevated to the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria in December 2007. He was awarded the International Practice Fellowship of the International Bar Association in Madrid in October 2009 and became a Fellow of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, UK in January 2015. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Ajibade. Last but not the least, we have Umar Yusuf Aboki. Is she here? Umar Yusuf Aboki is a seasoned leader with over 25 years of experience across the banking, investment promotion, and public-private partnerships. She built a successful career in commercial banking with institutions like Guarantee Trust Bank, Sterling Bank, and Habib Nigerian Bank, managing high value and budgeting and CEO of Kadipa in Kaduna State. She led strategic economic reforms and mobilized over $2.5 billion in investments. Umar brings a strong track record in financial management, leadership, and stakeholder engagement, and is passionate about women's empowerment, sustainability, and inclusive governance in Nigeria. Please, a round of applause for Ms. Umar Aboki. The moderator of the session is Mahmoudat Yusuf. Mahmoudat Yusuf is the managing partner of Mondial Solicitors, a law firm with a global outlook and international best practices. She is a professional negotiator and a broad-based corporate finance lawyer with extensive experience in various areas including corporate governance, commercial transactions, Islamic finance, and trusts. She is the first female publicity secretary of MBA Ibadan branch in 68 years, 2020 to 2022. Former Ibadan branch facilitator of the Women's Forum, and currently serves as the Oyo State lead of the Nigerian Bar Association Women Forum. Mahmoudat is passionate about the environment, governance, and volunteering for worthy causes. She is married and blessed with 4 boys. So permit me at this junction to invite the moderator to pilot this session and guide today's conversation. Thank you very much.
The President of the Nigerian Bar Association, our very own Mazi Afam Osigwe, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the Chairperson of the Nigerian Bar Association Women's Forum, our very own and dear Ajia Uwela Muhammad Ibrahim, the Chairperson of the CPC, other members of the Executive Council, distinguished Senior Advocates of Nigeria here present, Your Excellencies, members of the Council of the Nigerian Bar Association Women's Forum, our distinguished, beautiful female lawyers from across Nigeria here present, the few men that are he for she that are here to support us female lawyers, I welcome you. Thank you very much for coming. This session, we will be talking about something that has been a recurrent discussion on women empowerment, the issues that we face as women in Nigeria particularly, and how we can address these issues. And you agree with me that I have a distinguished panel comprising of very notable legal practitioners and experts in their own field to discuss these issues and to provide solutions and actionable points for us so that we can take that away from here as we go back to our respective destinations. Yeah, I will, let me finish. Right, so statistics has it that we have very few women in decision-making positions, in elective positions, and Nigeria is actually very peculiar, and I think those issues need to be addressed effectively, and not just about talking, but taking very actionable steps towards ensuring proper representation of women at those places. We have quite a number of women at the lower level, at the workplaces, but women happen to us, or our gender happened to us, or whatever it is that has happened to us, such that as we rise through those ranks, we fall off the road, and we have very few on those decision-making places, at management positions, at elective positions. So here today we'll be discussing those issues, and I hope that we'll have a very interactive, a very interesting conversation with my distinguished and esteemed panelists here today. So I'll take my seat now so that we can have a beautiful conversation to your delight. Thank you very much. Right. Please, can you hear me? It's better now. Right. Thank you. Right. Before we go on, I would want to apologize on behalf of Ajia Umar Aboki. We had to drag her out of our bed because she's not feeling fine. She has cough. That's why she's having a nose mask. So please pardon her, she has cough, so it's probably going to interrupt with some of our discussion, but I'm sure we'll have a good, smooth conversation with her today. I'll start from my right, from His Excellency, the former executive governor of Bauchi State, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Alhaji Muhammad Abubakar. He's been notable for being a he for she advocate, even though coming from the conservative north. And here we have him here to discuss some of these issues. So, Your Excellency, has it been from your own experience where you think that we need to invest in women? Do you think it is an economic decision to actually invest in women, or it is just for political correctness? Because it has been a buzzword where people just think, oh, we need women representation, women have to be on board. Do you think it's an economic decision for us, or just a political statement? So we want to know your experience and how you've been able to do that.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My answer outrightly to the question asked is that it is an economic decision. And I have my reasons for saying so. The strongest argument for why investing in women is an economic decision, not charity or political correctness, is simple. Women are critical drivers of economic growth, productivity, and stability. Research in Nigeria and other climes have shown consistently that when women are educated, they are healthy, they are financially included, and have access to opportunities, the entire economy benefits from their participation. And I have my reasons for saying so. Involving women engenders higher labor productivity. When women participate equally in the workforce, total productivity rises. Studies show that countries could boost their GDP by double digits simply by narrowing the gender gaps. Secondly, stronger family and community outcomes. Women typically reinvest about 80 to 90% of their income back into their families and into the community, as compared to 30 to 40% for men. This means better education, better health, and nutrition for the next generation, leading to a virtuous circle of development. Thirdly, increased innovation and entrepreneurship. Women-led businesses, when given capital and support, tend to outperform or match their men-led businesses in growth and sustainability, leading to a broader job creation. And finally, better governance and resilience. Empowering women in leadership positions, both politically and economically, leads to more inclusive, transparent, and responsive governance, which is critical for sustainable development. In short, investing in women unlocks a country's full economic potential. So it's about smart economics and not sentimentality. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Right. Aja Uma, you've experienced a lot in Nigeria's economy, the political space. You've experienced a lot, being a former commissioner in Kaduna State and being a technocrat, as you've always said. The Sustainable Development Goals is becoming a thing that everybody tries to incorporate into their system. But in Nigeria, we seem to be having those issues where we are not getting it. We have women in the rural areas, in the boardrooms, in senior management positions. There are still gaps to be filled. based on your own experience as somebody who've risen through the rank, currently a director in one of the multinationals in Nigeria, and your experience as an investment expert, what has been the gap that you see why women are unable to fill that role effectively, where we still have a gap for women to fill and we are not able to harness that opportunity effectively? What are those gaps that you've seen?
Thank you very much. Please permit my voice. I've been down with a cold. So for me, I think there are a couple of things. You look at women, especially from the rural communities to the urban communities to the boardrooms. And I think for me, sustainable development for a woman should be seen as a continuum, which means we have to ensure that women right from the rural areas have access to finance, access to good infrastructure, support from the men, from the communities, good education, good practices, and equal opportunities for them to thrive. What you see today is that most women run the informal sector. So if you do an analysis of the informal sector, businesses in the informal sector, you'll see that a majority of those businesses are run by women, but they are not able to move from that space into more structured businesses. So you're not able to see very many women move from just being farmers in the communities to actually owning processing plants and moving on to the boardrooms to lead corporate and public institutions. And what needs to happen is for everybody to collectively give women that equal opportunity. When I served, I'm a private sector person, I'm a banker by profession, and I ventured into public service. I ventured into public service because of the opportunity I found from the banking sector. I ran the public sector institution in the Northwest region of Guarantee Trust Bank, and so dealt with major government organizations, dealt with governors at the highest levels. And because of that, I joined the Kaduna State government to serve in the government of Nasir El-Rufai, who is he for she, because when we served in Malam's government, we had more female commissioners than male commissioners in the cabinet. There were 11 of us against the 7 male commissioners. And we saw things working. So for me, it is really that let us all collectively give women equal opportunities as the men. We're not asking for favors. We don't want any favors. But we know that we have the abilities. We just need to support. Every man at home should support his wife to flourish. Identify what are her abilities and let her also have a life outside just running your family, making babies, being the wife and the mother and running your home, because she can also have a life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma. Right. Nana Silk, Dr. Ajibade, I think this gathering would benefit from your experience as a senior advocate of Nigeria, as a boardroom expert, as an arbitrator, and maybe I'll say an MBA politician as well. And for us, even in the legal profession, we still have very few women attaining silk, right? So there must still be that gap that you've noticed from those places that you've worked where we still have very few women attaining those very high positions, but we are very many, our population is high at the lower ranks, but not at those very high places. So what do you think have been the gaps that women have not been able to plug into, and we keep dropping off the way and we can't attain the peak of our career most times?
Thank you very much, Mudat. And let me just start by congratulating the Nigerian Bar Association Women's Forum on this brilliant, well-organized gathering. I think it goes without saying, would be dishonest if we didn't say that women have some inherent disadvantages relative to men in our society and in the world at large. The gap is closing, but it's not where we'd like it to be yet. And I just think that we need to be deliberate about closing that gap. It's not going to close by itself. And I think we also need to be conscious of the fact, I listened with rapt attention when my lady, Justice Nyako, was speaking about the natural abilities that women have that men don't have, and the importance of those abilities. The ability of women to multitask is obviously a great advantage, but it's also a disadvantage in the context of what we're talking about, because there's only so much that you can do. If you're multitasking, you're looking after the home front, you're working, you're trying to build a career, you cannot but be at a disadvantage relative to men who can afford to be focused on just career advancement. So that's why I said we need to be deliberate about it, recognize those challenges that women confront, and close that gap, through deliberate action. One of the things that I've found in the legal profession, and perhaps in other sectors, is that I think women are just as capable as men. There's no doubt about that. We see it every day. But then when women have to step back to address some of those other issues, the problem is, even when they've gone, maybe because of the need to look after the children, childbearing, when they've gone through that process, it seems difficult for them, at least most women, to find their way back into their careers. And I think that is something that we need to look at carefully, because there's no reason why. I think that family unit is such an important unit. I don't think women should focus on career to the detriment of, looking after the home. But then once they've done that, and once the children have reached the stage where they don't need to be handheld, why can't the woman go back and resume from where she left off? A lot of women don't do that, and we need to interrogate that and examine why. Why does that happen? And make the workplace a lot more conducive for that to happen, so that women can attend, practice that multitasking and excel at all aspects of what they're expected to do.
Thank you very much. I'll stay with you, Doctor. Right, because following what you just said, I think coming back into, being reintegrated back into the system is a bit of a challenge for most women. We have this imposter syndrome where you feel that, should I be seen to be making these mistakes? Take the legal profession, for instance, somebody that is 20 years for a while and can't even move a simple motion because if she's been away, probably doesn't even understand the current rules. So for her to come back, it's going to be very difficult for her to come back. So instead of dropping off the way, don't you think that we should be readdressing our performance evaluation metrics so that even if you have to take care of your family with your career, you can still grow. You are sure that your seat is there. You can still perform maybe remotely. COVID has taught us to work remotely and still do it as efficiently as if you were in-house, physically in the office. So don't you think that we should be readdressing those performance metrics where, even though you have to go on maternity leave, you can still do some work from home, or there has to be another yardstick for assessing, this is a woman, she's able to do this at home, even though the man comes to the office physically, and without it affecting our rating, our work. So what do you think about that?
No, absolutely. Realize, and as His Excellency has said, if we don't, we're losing out, because women have a lot to contribute to the economy, to society. So if we don't make this deliberate effort to ensure that that benefit that we all can gain from women participating actively is lost, or is not lost, it's to our detriment. So my view is, I think we're discussing it, but as somebody else said earlier, we need to move beyond just talking. I think it was the president who said we need to move beyond talking about the problem to actually doing something to address the problem.
So we should walk the talk, in short.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you very much, sir. So, Honorable Minister, represented by Mr. Oji, Director Legal from the Ministry of Arts and Culture and Creative Economy. Sir, the creative economy is a new introduction in a part of the parastatal house that was newly introduced, but not much is known about what really is the creative economy. But for arts and culture, we know what that means right from the word go. So what is it that is the creative economy? And I'm sure that we have a lot of women in that space. And what are the challenges that you think that they've been encountering in that field as artists, as cultural experts, and even in the creative economy? Please switch it on. Is it working? Is it working?
Thank you. Hello. Thank you, moderator. Firstly, Nigerian creative economy is the new oil where creativity drives sustainable goods. Very well. Firstly, thank you, the moderator. The Nigerian creative economy is the new oil where creativity drives sustainable economic growth, jobs, and wealth creation. On the other hand, inclusivity in Nigerian creative economy is presently gaining momentum with effort to promote creativity and innovation, empower talents, promote creativity, and create opportunity across the various sub-sectors. Women can enhance their potential by developing digital skills, entrepreneurship, capacity, and capability training, networking, collaborating, and funding to support women for grants and using international platforms to promote their creative ingenuity. A lot has been put in place in Nigeria compared to other developed economies with vibrant economic sectors, such as in Australia, USA, China, among others. The newly creative economy has empowered women in various subsectors. In arts, women can reshape their narrative through storytelling, virtual representation, cultural discourse, promoting platform for self-expression, entrepreneurship, leadership, thereby challenging them to explore opportunity and succeed financially. You, moderator, you refer to the challenges women, women. Sure. Did I hear you talk about the challenges?
Yes, please.
Good. The challenges and the benefit from this creative economy, women can leverage their talents and entrepreneurship to build sustainable careers in music, films, fashion, technology, among others, while fostering innovation and economic growth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So, sir, I hear you mention music, fashion, and content creation and things like that as constituting the creative economy. So as lawyers now, how do you think that we can benefit from that space? And how do you think that we can advise our clients who are into that space effectively?
Very well. Presently, there is a gender desk. And then there is a forum called the Creative Leap Acceleration Program, CLAP. as one of the initiatives in our cultural policies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you. Right, so I will come back to you, Your Excellency. Right, so Nigeria, we are known to be patriarchal. We are known to always championing the men and maybe having policies favoring men most times. And women have to fight through the ceiling, have to fight through teeth and nail to get what they want. And at the moment, we have very few female deputy governors. We don't have a female governor. In the National Assembly, we have very few female legislators there. And even across the states too, we have very few female representation. So that's for elective position, and it shows that it's very difficult for women to get tickets of parties, to be anointed as the flag bearer of their party, and it seems that it's a man's world. From your own experience, how do you think that the Nigerian political space has fared in relation to women participation, and not just about appointments this time around, because you can appoint anybody, but it's now about somebody coming forward and saying, oh, I'm able to do this, give me the opportunity, but the gatekeepers keep saying, no, it's not a turn, or she's a woman, she should stay in her husband's house or something. So how do you think women can navigate that challenge and the obvious way the Nigerian political space is being run?
Well, thank you very much. I think the Nigerian political space has witnessed some improvements, particularly the APC, which is my party. I know we have tinkered with the Constitution in such a way that we have reduced drastically the cost of forms for women contesting for elections. It may be a little step in the right direction, but at least it's a starting point for women. There are a lot of disadvantages. The keynote speaker had highlighted some of the disadvantages. For example, the holding of meetings at 3 a.m. in the morning. But I must say, it's not every meeting of political parties that take place at 3 a.m. Most meetings take place at earthly hours, if you like.
But late into the night.
Earthly hours, no. I mean, for example, one of the criticisms of the ruling party by opposition is that from the beginning of this government, the organs of the political party had not met. But recently, the two vital organs of the political party, the caucus and the National Executive Council of the party met. And they all met at 5 p.m. in the evening. So these are earthly hours as far as I am concerned. And I think it's a step in the right direction. There are a lot of disadvantages, but we must move consciously to remove all the stumbling blocks for women to participate in politics. I have participated, or I'm participating in the attempt to review the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I know there are a lot of efforts being attempted in order to correct all the anomalies that pertain to the participation of women in politics in Nigeria.
So do you think it's about because of our financial capacity, because you know that we are not the money bags, we don't have the financial strength to compete with men, and that's because of our obvious disadvantage. We are not at those decision-making levels where they earn very high salaries. So we are kind of disenfranchised from being able to play at a level playing field. And it's not just about handing out tokens to women and saying, oh, you don't have to pay. But it's also about the fact that there is a lot of financial commitment involved. So don't you think that's also one of the challenges that is limiting women?
It is obvious that... hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It is obvious that finance is one of the stumbling blocks for women in participating in politics in Nigeria. But for everything, we must begin at the beginning. You know, the women folk that have intention to participate in politics must begin like most of the men do by widening a lot of their horizons, their contacts, building up these resources and building up these contacts for participation in politics. It's unfortunate that up till this moment, politics is about money in Nigeria. A few of us were lucky to have contested elections. We were not money bags. I was a practicing lawyer here in Abuja when I was called upon to contest. And I did. A lot of people will not believe that in 2015 when I contested, I never voted a single kobo for vote buying in my election. And with God's help, I was able to succeed. You know, I'm not saying that is the general order of things in Nigerian politics, but it can be done. It can be done. Probably the reason why I'm here with you and not out there with them is the fact that I started as an independent person and I didn't have to use money. And when I got there, I attempted to do things the right way. And a lot of Nigerian politicians will not like that to happen. But let us not lose hope that we can be able to make it through contacts with little money. Contacts and little money. I believe contacts are more important when you build the followership in your state. With me, it took time. As a lawyer, I built that followership over time. Even when I was working, I was visiting home and then I was assisting in every little way I could in sustaining the followership. So I think women folk should not lose hope. Yes, it's an uphill task, but it is surmountable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So there's like a ray of hope for us.
Yes.
And that we should start from the grassroots,
Yes.
if I hear you correctly.
Yes.
That we should be more of grassroots politician, holding the stakes for the men. And when it's our turn, we can wield it appropriately in our favor. All right. Yeah. So, Aja Uma, we are from the conservative north. We are from the conservative north, where men are preferred not to be heard, rather to take the back seats. But you've been able to be at the forefront of elite women, educated women that have risen through the ranks in private sector, in public sector, and in the political space, even as a technocrat. Do you think that the women have the capacity, and what has been your own personal journey being in that space? Do you think your being a woman was a limiting factor? And also being from the north, do you think that you had naysayers telling you that why should you go to school or something like that, compared to the popular opinion of people saying that women are not allowed to have access to education?
Thank you very much. So, a woman is always at a disadvantage, usually. And there are certain barriers for women that are there in our lives, and we just need to work towards seeing how we can improve on those. So one of the barriers for women really is that sometimes even in social norms, in communities, cultural barriers, especially for us that are core Northerners. In recent times now, of course, you've seen the North embrace a career woman. Before, it was a completely not a no. You do not see the women. The women were meant to be at home. So that was a barrier. You also see barriers for women even in the financial inclusion. Today, if you look at statistics, less than 35% of women have bank accounts across Nigeria. It is something that we need to do. How do we ensure that women have financial inclusion? If we look at the statistics of even the national identity number, a lot of women are in their homes, they don't have these numbers. And without these numbers, even access to the various programs that government has is difficult for women to achieve. But I am privileged to come from a family where women were supported to have a good education, to also pursue career pathways, and also supported by a husband who also appreciates a career woman. So for me, a woman needs to have the support of her community, the support of her family, and the support of Nigeria in general. We were doing a research on financial inclusion for women and how women lack access to finance. And what we see is that, yes, a lot of the financial products in banks are not friendly to women businesses. Now, women businesses are also restrictive in such a way that women have less access to collaterals. Until very recently, you find that most women can't even own lands in various communities. There are inheritance restrictions where a woman can't even inherit what her husband has left for her. A woman can't even inherit what her father has left for her. So that restricts women to what they can have. Women are always seen to be as if we are not able to lead organizations or to be leaders in our various capacities. And that is so very untrue. You find that where women, a lot of the organizations that women lead actually thrive better. And like I've always said, for me, I'm never a proponent to say, no, just give women the opportunity. The women need to be given some quota in some things. Just give women equal opportunities in every organization. Give women the opportunities that men have so that they will be able to thrive. And I think we will be in a better place. It has to be a conscious effort where we try to remove all the barriers that women have in being self-sustainable and having economic empowerment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Dr. Ajibade, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, there's a general saying that power is not given a la carte. You fight for it. But women, we don't have that strength like the men, right? So what leadership qualities should women be developing such that it's not like they are doing them a favor? And we're saying that we need affirmative action where we want women to be there. Yesterday we were at the Supreme Court where Justice Ogi, retired, was saying that it's not just about having a fine face, but it's about having the capacity, showing that you can do this thing, not just because you want to be there and just be a show glass for people to look at and say, oh yes, we've done, there are women there. So what leadership qualities should we be developing as women such that when the call comes and say, oh, we want Mrs. So and so to take up this responsibility, everybody around have a unanimous opinion about this person's capacity and competence to handle that role. So how should we be preparing for those roles coming?
It's a fantastic question, and I'll combine my answer with a comment on what His Excellency said. And what I'm going to say might be a bit controversial, but I think women, given the polity that we're in, given the state of our nation, I don't think women should be discouraged by the fact that they form just a small percentage of governance. If that percentage is the better percentage, then women are in a good space. Because to my mind, and that's why I said what I'm saying might be controversial, they're also in the small minority of people who are governing properly. The men who have been running things in Nigeria for how long? What have we had to show for it? I mean, where has it gotten us? So maybe if we had more women, maybe things wouldn't be the way they are. And the flip side of that is, I think we need to focus on the kind of qualities that we need for leadership, not on the gender of the leader. If we focus on the qualities we need for leadership, and if women have those qualities in greater abundance than men, it is just a matter of time when women will take their rightful place. We need to focus on those qualities. Because the truth is, our men, I'm a man. How many decent people, and present company exempted, of course, I know His Excellency very well, but how many decent people in Nigeria, men or women, are eager to go into politics because of the way our politics is run? Most decent people don't want to have anything to do with it. And if we will not get good people to go into politics, whether in the nation, whether even in our professional associations, how are we going to move things forward? So I don't think it's just about women. I think it's about identifying the leadership characteristics that we need. And if women have those characteristics in abundance, then it's just a matter of time.
Thank you very much, Lanesik. Staying with you, so do you think that we should be championing policies that would be favorable, that would be able to make it easier for women to attain those positions? Should we be having a policy discussion?
I think we should be having a policy discussion that identifies those characteristics and makes it possible for people with those characteristics to participate effectively. So, I mean, His Excellency said the two parties had meetings at 5 p.m. I know that the meetings that my lady was talking about wasn't the NEC meeting. It's the meetings before the meeting. Those are the ones that take place at 3 a.m. that women can't participate in. So we need to change those dynamics. We need to make sure that the real discussions, because typically, I mean, let's be honest, whether it's corporate discussions, whether it's a boardroom meeting, a lot of the meetings take place before the meeting. Now, if those meetings before the meetings are taking place at obscure hours, then women have been naturally excluded. So part of good governance, either corporate governance or governance of the polity, we should be consciously moving away from that and ensuring that we create a platform where good people can come forward and participate. And when you create that platform, I can assure you a lot more women will be involved.
Thank you very much, Lanesik. So I think I'll address the same question to Your Excellency. So what's your thought on that? Should we be championing a policy change in favor of women?
Thank you very much. To my mind, championing policies for now is the way to go. I don't think it's aimed at conferring any advantages on the women. All we will do in championing politics is to attempt to level the playing field. Over time, traditionally, women have faced a lot of disadvantages. Natural, religious, legal disadvantages. You know, if we champion policies now, all we are doing is removing those barriers and leveling the playing field for the women folk. So I believe at this point in time, because you see, when you adopt such policies, for example, in Rwanda, a policy was put in place where a certain percentage of seats was reserved for the women folk. Over time, in about 5 years, today, there are more women legislators in the Rwandan legislature than there are men. And this was as a result of putting in place a policy that has at least prepared the women to now operate on a level playing field. And we know naturally that if you do that, what they do is they break the glass ceiling, so to speak, right. And then they take the advantage. So I believe in championing those policies for now.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, ladies, we will be taking questions shortly. So I'll take their final thoughts on this discussion. Then we'll open the floor for questions and answer segments. So, Mr. Oji, please, would want to take your final thoughts on this discussion. What do you think are your advice for women going forward, based from your own experience and ministry?
Going forward to surmount the challenges enumerated by the panelists are one, having to develop that capacity and capability so that when opportunities found themselves, you will not be found wanting. Believe in yourselves, expand your horizons. Don't lean on somebody or somebody to. Sorry. Just like my Lord said earlier, believe in yourselves, your capabilities. Don't lean on anybody or anybody to godfather or godson you or goddaughter you. Develop your intellectual capacity, and then the rest will be success.
Thank you very much, sir. So, Your Excellency, your final thoughts on this?
My final thoughts are that in the political space, like I have stated, women must take the advantage of their numbers. All right? I am one who has said in several, particularly when speaking to the youth, that we must take advantage of the numbers. The youth and women constitute the majority of the population. And if you organize this and take advantage of the demographic, you can be able to now wrest power away from the men. Obviously, power is not given on a platter of gold. You have to wrest it away. And I believe the point to start is supporting some policies that do not necessarily give advantages to the women. All these policies are seeking to do is to simply level the playing field. And from that point, the starting point will be the same. We know for a fact that in Nigeria, the starting point has never been the same for the women and the men. So if you now engender policies that level the playing field and allow the starting point to be the same, the rest of it will be left to the women. And I believe the point to start, like my Lord Justice Binta Nyako said, is to first and foremost own the disadvantage. Women should own the disadvantage. They must recognize it for them to be able to fight it. This is my last thought on the matter.
Thank you very much, sir. Aja Umaboki, you are the only non-lawyer on this panel, so would want your thoughts on this. Final thoughts in 1 minute.
Thank you very much. So for me, throughout my journey, I have seen that when women are given real opportunities, they don't just thrive. They actually lift entire communities with them. So let's be intentional about breaking structural barriers and building ecosystems where every Nigerian woman can realize her full potential. Because sustainable economic development for women requires more than goodwill. It demands deliberate policies, measurable actions, and leadership commitment. So our challenge and our opportunity is to move beyond promises into building systems where women's economic empowerment is non-negotiable and irreversible. That is how we can secure a sustainable, inclusive future for our country. That is how we will make sure that our Nigerian women have a voice everywhere they are. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now let's take Dr. Babatunde Ajibade.
Thank you very much. Well, again, at the risk of being controversial, I often say that there are only two types of people in the world: good people and bad people. It's not about race, it's not about tribe, it's not about religion, it's not even about gender. Because we've seen some women in Nigeria, some have come and gone, and they haven't even left women a good name. So I think we also need to be careful in what we're doing and focus on, as I said earlier, the characteristics that are required for advancement and for leadership. If women have those characteristics in abundance, and I believe they do, more than men, if our track record so far is anything to go by, then it is just a matter of time. They will gain their place.
So words of hope and reassurance that we'll get there. It could take time, but we'll definitely get there, as long as we are not giving up. Right. So the floor is open now for questions. So if anybody has questions, please indicate so we can take your numbers. 1. Questions from the gallery. Okay. 2. Going. 3. Questions. Right. So we have 3 questions. Ma. So Adeze, please, can you take question? Yes. The microphone is coming. No, the microphone is coming to you.
Sorry for my left hand.
Thank you very much, my sister, the moderator. Mine is not a question, I just want to comment. Standing on the existing protocol, I want to congratulate my big brother, His Excellency M.A. Abubakar, for being turban of recent as the Makama Baba One of Bauchi State, Bauchi Emirate, and for giving out his daughter on that same day. Congratulations, sir. Mr. Ajibade SAN, sir, it's a pleasure meeting you. I just want to say this to MBA Women's Forum, that we need to, there's a national gender policy, and for the past 2 days we work on the section, the briefing of CSW 69, and I will shock all of you seated here. I was the only lawyer in that meeting. I was the only lawyer. So MBA Women's Forum, I will advise that our chair, Hurela, you liaise with the Minister of Women Affairs, so that we can get lawyers. Most of the things we were doing has to do with law. Reviewing the Child's Rights Act, reviewing the VAP Act, and then reviewing the National Gender Policy for Women. There is a gender policy for women in agric. There is gender policy for women in petroleum, oil, and gas. People doing those jobs are not lawyers. So please, capacity building, and then get ourselves to be so visible. And I want to comment to us. Please, can we be quiet? Please, can we be quiet, sisters? You know, when we come here, some of us do not just come to network. For every time we are called out, there is something for you to learn. And I want to re-emphasize, last night,
I felt so
disappointed.
No, shots, madam.
I want to say something on focus.
We are running out of time.
Let's be focused.
Thank you
and
very
build
much,
ourselves capacity building, personal capacity building.
Well noted,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you very much. Next person. Thank you very much, ma'am. Please make it brief. We are out of time already.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Leonard Sales, our amiable panelists, we appreciate your presentations. My name is Hadiza Ali from Zaria branch. Thank you very much for inspiring us on the leadership role of women and the economic empowerment. Be that as it may, this is a gathering of the entire Women's Forum of the Nigerian Bar Association. I feel challenged that with this number that we are here present today, are we going to change the narrative in producing the leadership of the MBA when it comes to the next election? Please, I want us to think about that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next person. Adeze. No, yes.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Yemi Akogbe, and I'm particularly honored and delighted to be here today to join in the conversation, today. And to piggyback from what my sister just said, I support that women should take leadership positions. The next elections and other elections, women should be involved without a doubt. But one thing I take from all that I've heard here, is that there should be equal opportunities to women, to everybody. Please, the narrative is one that we support, we continue to support that. Competence, capacity is extremely important. We don't do things based on sentiment. If we do that, we are inviting recipe for mediocrity, and we don't want to be mediocrities. Mediocrity cannot be the day. I tell people that women, we go to school with them. Sometimes they come first, second, third, they do better than the men folks, because in teaching in class, in marking exams is equal opportunity. The lecturer doesn't look at your gender, it looks at your capacity and your performance. So if a woman has the capacity, the competence, and can do better, please, I support women leadership, if that is the case. But there must be capacity, there must be competence. Otherwise, we'll go back to the days of mediocrity. And to just focus on what I want to say, I think sometimes as well, even we women get these things confused. I've had the opportunity to address many judges of the court, and I say to them that I've heard of situations where people appear before female judges and they take objections to being addressed as my lady or your ladyship. And I say to them that if you look at the history, I'm going to engage with the leadership of our courts. If you look at the history of our profession, there was actually a time in England where they were actually literally speaking no female at the bar. And that was where that came from, that there is no women at the bar. Therefore, the judges were only the male judges. After that, a time came when there were actually women at the bar. But they then said, well, we know that you are here, but we pretend that you are not here. So we still say that you are not a woman. We pretend that you are not a woman. But as time went by, women took their position in England, and they realized that you are a woman, you've earned it, you've owned it. To say that me as a woman, you're calling me sir or my lord is derogatory and demeaning. Because what you're telling me is that I'm not capable, I'm not fit to take the position, except I tell you that I'm a man. So please, we also need to do that. Let's engage with the hierarchy, and let's take it and accept that women take their position. Just like the Justice August yesterday, I didn't get here by looking beautiful, by smiling at men. That I earned it. I got here through capacity, and that's how men would respect me, because they know that I didn't get here on sentiment, or because I think that, oh, it's high time we, have a female president or female justice or female
Thank
judge.
you very much.
So capacity is extremely important.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you very much. So now we call it a wrap on this conversation, and I hope that we've been able to gain insightful thoughts from our panelists, and we'll go back home with this, and we know that we have actionable points to ensure that women are well represented across board, in the boardrooms, in elected positions, and even at the MBA level, we have adequate representation of women at those elective positions. Thank you very much, everyone. So we have vote of thanks from the coordinator and the presentation to the panelists. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, another round of applause for our distinguished panelists. Thank you so much. Thank you. And would quickly present awards to our panelists. And to lead this particular presentation, may I invite the Secretary of the MBAWF, Ugochi Agala, please. A round of applause for her. Thank you.
Thank you. Distinguished Presidents of the Nigerian Bar Association, our keynote speaker, my lords here present, Leonard Silks, executive members of Nigerian Bar Association and the Nigerian Bar Association Women Forum, Leonard seniors, esteemed panelists, distinguished guests, and fellow participants. On behalf of the EXCO and Council, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has contributed to the success of this opening ceremony and the first panel session. We extend our sincere appreciation to our keynote speaker for sharing their valuable insights and setting the tone for this conference. We also deeply appreciate all our distinguished panelists for their excellent contributions. I believe that we are all better off having listened to them. To our dignitaries, thank you for gracing this occasion with your presence and your wisdom. To all our participants, our sponsors, exhibitors outside, we thank you for your enthusiasm and for your support. Special thanks to the organizing committee, volunteers, staff of the MBA, for their tireless efforts in making this event possible. May this conference be a platform for meaningful discussions as we continue, knowledge sharing and networking. We look forward to a productive and enriching experience.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Ugochi. I've just been properly guided that she gave the vote of thanks. Please, another round of applause for her, please. Thank you. And to lead the presentation of our award, as earlier mentioned, please, may I welcome Yemi Akambe, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. This is for Ajia Hanatu Musawa. Yes. What do you say? Yeah. Oh, let me just stand here. Yes, so this is presented to Ajia Hanatu Musawa on behalf of the Nigerian Bar Association Women Forum. We present this to you in appreciation of coming here today to share your thoughts and invaluable experience with us today. I believe that everybody's found your session very beneficial. Thank you so much for being here. His Excellency, you again, he for she capacity. Yes, His Excellency Muhammad Abubakar, on behalf of this Women's Forum, I present this to you in appreciation of your being here today to share your thoughts with all of us. We found your session very, very rewarding. Thank you so much, His Excellency. And this is to my own boss, Mr. Babatunde Ajibade, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Well, boss, on behalf of the forum, the Women Forum, I present this to you in appreciation and recognition of your always giving back, sharing your experience with us, your insights, and your personality, giving us your time and all of that. I do thank you on behalf of the Women's Forum. Thank you very much for all you're doing now and all that you continue to do, being selfless. Thank you.
Just wait, let them finish. Let them finish. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Uma. This is for Uma Yusuf Abuki. Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure listening to you today. And on behalf of the forum, I present this to you in appreciation of your valuable time that you spent with us today. And I've taken so much from what you've said. Thank you so much. Okay, Mahmoud Atisuf, I say on behalf of everybody here, we've really enjoyed listening to you. You have coordinated this session with maturity. Thank you so much. So this is to appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I pray that you continue to, grow and get to greater heights by the grace of God. Thank you very much. I think pictures. Is the chair, the leadership of the forum? The leadership of the forum? Can we do this with some gender balancing? Some gender balancing. Can we have women here as well, please? Don't leave me with doctor alone. The CPC chair. The CPC chair. Alternate chair of the CPC as well. The alternate chair of the CPC. Is the chair here, CPC? And the alternate chair? Fowoke Ponle. Thank you so much.
We are done. Can we step down?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who's calling? Please, a round of applause for the panelists as they take their seats, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Need a name quick, please. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we had announced earlier that we'd have raffle draws at the end of every session, and we have come to such a time to have another set of the raffle draws. And I hope we are ready and everyone is seated. Name, please. And to okay, just before the raffle draw, please would like to recognize the presence of the immediate past National Secretary Adegbite Adeshino. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for being around. Thank you. Okay, so to coordinate the raffle draws, again, please help me welcome Judith Olise, please, for the raffle draws. A round of applause for her, please.
Thank you so much. We're back again, and we'll just be permit us to stand on the already established protocol. We're here for the second segment of the raffle draw, and we'll be calling on our seniors who are here to also make a pick from our raffle tickets.
Sorry, how many people are we picking this session?
We're picking 10.
So one person should pick like 3.
Okay. So we have to pick 10 tickets for this segment of the raffle draw, and we'll be calling Chief Emeka Obegolu, SAN, to do the first pick from our raffle basket or raffle box. So, sir, please help us pick 2 tickets. Thank you very much, Leonard Silk. And so we have Ajibola Toby Lawal as our first winner. Is Ajibola here? If Ajibola is not here, we'll have to tear this to pick another ticket. We have Erebi Amugan. Is Erebi here? Please come up on stage. What's her gift? Okay. It's the wrong one. So let's have our CPC chair pick, make the pick, the next pick. Please put your hands together as I welcome Haja Aisha Ado Abdullahi. Please give her a round of applause as she's coming to do the pick. We have Grace Ehusani. Is Grace here? Okay, let's clap for her. She's coming. The next one, Saada to Mohammed Dati. Is Saada to here? Is Saada to here? We have Erimobo Eretiara Borme. Is she here? No? Okay. We have Ruth Izontimi. Is Ruth here? Okay. Then Chinwendu Ugezu. Is Chinwendu here? Is Chinwendu here? Okay. I'll be calling on the chair of Mulan FCT, Alhaji Al-Bashir Liko, to help us make the next speak. Let's give him a round of applause as he walks down. So we have Zainab Adamuloko. Is Zainab here? Is she here? No. We have Ayewumi Afolakemi Oluwabumi. Is Folakemi here? If no, we move to the next person. Okay, this ticket is empty. We have Oluwatosin Ogundele. Okay. So I'll be calling on our immediate past General Secretary to make the next speak. Please put your hands together as I welcome Sir Adegbite to make the next speak. Yes. No. Give him the... Thank you very much, sir. So we have Ihuoma Jane Francis Anyanwu. Is Ihuoma here? We have Chinaka Sunday Iherue. Is she here? We have Blessing Emera. Is Blessing here? Then we have Bilkisu Mansour. Is Bilkisu here? Yes. Is she here? Oh. We have Eloho Odebala. Is Eloho here? This one's. So you said. To make our last speak, please help me welcome Hajia Larabash Roibu. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mom. We have Joy Ifoma Eroku. Is Joy here? Please come up to the podium. Okay. Fadima to Aliyu Baba Kano. She's also here. We have Hindu Biu Bukar. Is Hindu here? And then we have Ibako Evuluku. Is she here? So I'll invite our third vice president to just make the last speak. Can we have Hajia Zainab pick the last person for us? Just one ticket more. Please give her a round of applause as she's coming. Thank you. Oh, no. Thank you. Okay, and our last ticket for this segment, we have Mary Oluwafumilayo Lawal. Is Fumilayo Lawal here? Is she here? Okay, if there are 10, that means we have completed for the winners for this segment. Please give our winners a round of applause.
Okay, so for the first winner, the person will take home the gift card for the launch date in the sum of 25,000 naira. The second person will take home 20,000 naira Spar Supermarket's gift card. This is cash. 10,000 naira Spar Supermarket gift card for the third, fourth, and fifth persons. The reports of directors of the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee will go to the sixth person. Do you want this? Who's the sixth person? So I'll use my discretion. Thank you very much. The seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th person will get recharge cards in the sum of 5,000 naira each. And again, these gifts here were given to us by Afamefuna Okeke. That's the reports, the 4 bundles. The spa dates was given to us by Crest Hill Law Firm. The spa gift cards were given to us by Steve Onye, Obiman Associates, and Greenbridge Partners. We also have the gifts from the Nigerian Weekly Law Reports, the Law Pavilion, Dr. Rapulu Nduka, Ame O Ame, Elegante Spa, and Beauty Salon. A round of applause for our sponsors, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, another round of applause for the winners of this raffle draw. We have another raffle at the end of the next session, but we'll take a break at this point so that we can have lunch. Lunch will be served to you. It's packed, so you can be where you are, and lunch will be served to you. And feel free to eat it in the hall. We are permitted to do that. And the session will resume at 2:30 or so soon thereafter. I'd also want to announce a reminder that you should take advantage of the free medical checks going on outside of the hall towards my left. That is your right. Outside of the hall towards my left, which is your right. Please take advantage of the free medical check, blood pressure, and necessary checks going on there as well. And then it's also important that you claim your CPD/CLE points from this training, from this conference. If you look at the pillars in the hall, you will see a barcode. Feel free to scan the barcodes and follow the prompts to claim your points. It is very necessary. At this point, we'll take a break and resume at 2:30, please. Thank you so much.
And there is actually provision for VIPs. The lunch is, just go to the first floor.
the barcode is on the screen, please. The barcode is on the screen for our credits. Endeavor to scan it and fill in your name for your certificate. The barcode is on the screen for our credits, please. No, it's working. I just did mine. You're supposed to fill it now. Then that's it. You'll receive your certificate. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Please, lunch is about to be served. Can we all be seated? Thank you.
Should sit down.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Please, we actually need everybody seated. That's the only way that we can start serving lunch. So please, everybody go back to your seats so that we can do this shortly. Please. Please, for the people close to the door, can we tell people outside that lunch is about to be served and they all need to come and be seated, please? In a few minutes, we'll start serving lunch. Please, everybody be seated.
He didn't hear you. Pay for my voice now. Use my voice.
No, it was loud. It's just that the attention is already divided.